Hello.
I'm watching a live stream. What is Dylan doing?
He's looking at the screen. Yeah.
Live?
It's like, maybe you're probably gonna hear me like on the thing unless you have your volume down. It seems like it's on like a 10-second delay or something.
Dylan really crying in the background?
He's crying?
Like the video that I was looking at, was it like, he was like, no, I saw there.
What was it? Was the video on me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. So I guess
Yeah.
you're seeing like what it was when I first started it. I thought it would be live. I still have to play around with it. I don't know how it works yet. But I was just trying to...
The delay. Weird.
Yeah.
I hear what you say right after the fact. Alright, so how did it go?
It went good. Should I turn off this live stream thing? Is this like too much right now?
Sure.
I'm asking you.
No, I don't have my headphone out.
Okay.
I gotta watch it.
It went, it was good. It was a good conversation. It was not an interview. I made that clear.
Yeah.
That it was just getting, like having a conversation to see if it's something that I'm interested in, see if it would be a good fit. And I think that she thinks that I would be a good fit and everything. But the job's not posted yet, and she hopes to get the job posted by the end of April. And she said that then after that it takes like 2 months to go through the hiring process because of like interviews and background checks and all that. That it's like a really slow process through the Fed. But she called me Fed family, and so I had a good recommendation from Claudia, and then she's like, and I can see, why Claudia would recommend you because you have such good experience in all these different things. Like she liked my resume and everything.
That's good. She called you family.
At the very end, she said I was Fed family.
Wow.
And she said that, it's really hard to get your foot in the door because they do so much like promoting from within. And so after, after she told me about what she does and like the team and everything, and then she wanted me to go through like my stuff, and so I did a pretty good job of like going through and explaining all the different things that I did at Dryco and all that, and even going beyond what was on the resume. And I did a good job of explaining the culture stuff that I did and all the team building, and she liked that and everything. So then when I got done with that, she's like, okay, so that's a good thing, or like I know a lot now about your background and your history, but like what do you want to do next? Like what's your goal? And I was like, I mean, I didn't hesitate for that long, but and I had already mentioned the MBA thing and strategic planning and financial analysis and all that. So my answer to that question was that I've been in small companies, and I've liked my companies, but my goal is to get into a bigger company where there's room to grow, and there's longevity to the position or to the career that I could have within a company and grow and be in, move up in a company and all that. And whether that's in marketing or strategic planning or financial analysis, whether it's in something that I have history in or something new that I'm learning, that's my goal. And then she liked that, and then that's when she kind of went into the whole like, yeah, there's a lot of internal development and blah blah blah, and like Claudia's been at the Fed for a long time, and she's like, I thought I was only going to be here for 3 years because I got laid off in my last job, that I was at for 8 years, and I said, never again will I do that. And then she's been there for 12 years now, and Claudia has been at the Fed for a long time. So I think she liked that answer.
Yeah, definitely. That's good.
So it went good. I have notes on my computer, but
Yeah, we talked about it at lunch. I was going to say, why is she reaching out to people?
Because it's her team. And,
Oh, okay.
and Claudia sent my resume to her a couple months ago, but they didn't have any positions available. So she said that she would hold on to it in case they did have any positions available. And like she had asked her superiors about creating another position, and they had said no back then, but now they're saying yes to creating a new position. And so that's what this position would be. It's just like adding another person to her team. And I can tell you more about it. I was like writing down and typing a bunch of stuff.
Good, and it's reporting to her.
Yeah, she's the manager. It's a small team, but she's the manager of the team. She's got 2 officers, and right now there's 4 other like workers, and there's 2 on the industry. Hang on, let me pull my notes. There's 2 on the communication support side and 2 on the industry support side. And I'm not exactly sure what each one would do, but this position would be on the industry support side. So I think it'd be like working with the payment vendors and trying to get everybody on the same page, because she said that the United States' like payment system is like behind the rest of the world because of all the complex web of like different banks and different payment things, and like PayPal and all of that like aren't tied together. So that's what their goal is to tie everything together. And there's teams of like 500 like members of these task forces that they like. Part of the thing is like getting these people on these task forces together for a couple of days. So like setting up conferences with everybody and like securing like basically like organizing the whole event, as part of the job. So I have.
That's cool. I want to hear more about it. But then what are the next steps? Like, if it's such a long process, what the next steps would be? A formal interview or like what? Phone interview.
The next steps would be that the job gets posted, and then I apply to it, and then go through like the interview process. But it's not even posted yet, so it's like she is gonna email me when it does get posted, so that I can apply to it. But then she also thought that I was still working for Dryco, and then at the end, I said because there's like a contractor position also, but she wasn't sure if I'd be interested in that because I'm working full time. And I was like, well, actually, I'm not. Like, and I told her, like, I explained the situation, and she's like, oh, I'm so glad I brought that up then, because before we actually hire somebody, we work with a contracting agency to basically have somebody do that job while they're trying to find somebody permanent for the job. And so she's going to talk with her officers about it and she's going to think about it and like see how we could possibly have that worked out, to see if I like the job, and like, if I were to get that contract position, it'd be a thing where if I like the job and I'm good at it and they like me, I could get the permanent role. But it might be a thing where I can get this contract position to start off with, and that would maybe be sooner than getting the permanent position, because it's like a 6-month thing while they're trying to get the permanent position put together.
Got it. We'll also be doing like the process that takes like a few months.
Yeah.
So what about, did you talk about vacation?
No, because she said that it's a remote job. Like I could do, if I got hired for the permanent role, I could do it from Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah. I might have to go into the Charlotte office but I could have a desk there and like work for the Chicago Fed from Charlotte, and I would just travel for like meetings to Chicago. She said it's like 20% travel.
If you wanted to have an office in the Charlotte office, could you?
In the Charlotte what?
If you wanted to not work remotely, could you?
If I wanted to have an office in Chicago?
Charlotte.
That's what I said, Charlotte. What do you?
Oh, well, I thought it sounded like you could just go in like here and there. This and like forever.
I could go in here and there?
Like you could have a permanent desk in the Charlotte office.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Got it, okay.
I could work for the Chicago Fed from Charlotte, and I would just have my desk in the Charlotte Fed. That's where I would go to work. She said that one of her officers works from Charlotte. He works from home, but because he's at the officer level, he can do that. But this position would go into the office.
Oh, that's good.
So I mentioned that like our goal was to make it back to Chicago, and she's like, "Oh, back to Chicago." I was like, "Oh yeah, like we grew up there, we used to live there. All our family's there, and we just had a boy, so we were trying to get back to their around family." So I like laid that groundwork, but then she said because it's like a remote position, like it doesn't sound like. I mean, she said that when the time came, like that's one of the factors when they're considering candidates. But to me, like reading outside the lines, it didn't sound like they would do relocation. If I can work here, why would they pay to move me? But you never know. It's possible.
But if you did end up going there, you could still work there. Like it doesn't matter.
Right. Like I could work for the Chicago Fed from here and not have to move.
Got it.
And I would just travel for industry event things and travel for meetings at the Chicago office.
Cool. That's really cool.
And I thought, worst case scenario, if I got this position and I had to travel to Chicago a bunch, like once a month or 2 times a month or whatever it is, for meetings, maybe I could bring Dylan or something and have him like see grandparents while I'm at work.
Definitely, yeah.
Something like that. But that's getting way ahead of it because this process takes so long that I don't even know when. How long? Oh, and her officers are out of the office this week, so she can't even like talk to them about the contractor thing until next week. So my next steps are that I'm gonna get back in touch with her the week of the 11th if I haven't heard from her yet about that, and then so that's the next time I'll talk to her. And then she's supposed to send me a note whenever that job gets posted next month. And she seemed like a nice person, and we got along. Like we weren't just talking about the position, like we're talking about kids and everything and all that. So I think it wasn't like a run me through your resume. Okay, now tell me about a time that you did this. Tell me about a time you did that. Like that kind of thing just sort of came out in the conversation. Like I brought up the whole culture initiative team and how we planned all the events, and we had 2 fit that we generated from a poll of the entire company, and then we made it into this acronym where we planned all these events based around each value, and I think she liked hearing that. So, but I think to actually get the position, I have to like interview and go through like the whole HR process and interview with an HR manager. So.
Cool. That sounds good.
Yeah, I think it went pretty good. I was a little worried because Bandit was in the office, or he was in the upstairs with me, and at one point he got up from his dog pad and jumped up to get on the chair, and I was like, oh gosh, please don't start barking, Bandit. But he didn't. Can you still see Dylan?
No, I just forgot out of it.
I mean, did you see him getting bottle fed?
Yep, I did.
And he's a little cutie.
Pretty good. Alright, well, I get going tomorrow.
What time are you coming home?
What?
What time are you coming home?
11:45.
Ooh, dang.
Alright, love you, George. I'll call you when I leave.
Sounds good. Bye.